now 6:59 on this Monday morning. High temperature on Sunday was 30 degrees. That came at 4:19 p.m. 2 below the normal high for the 2nd of October, 1 below last year's high. Low temperature of 23 came at 11:01 p.m. That's 1 below the normal low, 4 below last year's low. Average temperature on Sunday was 27 degrees, 1 below normal, 2 below last year. Highest gust of wind from the east at 25 miles an hour. This is the third day of Apple Month, third day of Black Cat Awareness Month, Country Music Month, National Chili Month. It's National Stop Bullying Month. It's also the third day of Universal Children's Week. It's the first day of No Salt Week and World Goat Day. First Monday in October, World Habitat Day, and it's the World Day of Bullying Prevention. Links on the web. Good morning. It's 7 o'clock, and you're listening to KBRW. 680 AM in Barrow, Atkasuk and Wainwright, 91.9 FM in Barrow, 88.1 FM in Kaktoik, Noakes and Point Lay, 101.5 FM at Point Hope and Activic Pass, and worldwide at kbrw.org. Community radio for the North Slope, broadcasting from the top of the world, Barrow, Alaska. Monday, October 3rd, the 276th day of 2022, the short-term forecast for the northern Arctic coast. Partly sunny, a high near 28, southeast winds around 15 miles an hour. Partly cloudy tonight, low around 24, southeast winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Tuesday, mostly sunny with a high near 32, south winds around 15 miles an hour. We're down 1 degree to 25, east winds 16, gusting to 24 miles an hour, the wind chill at 12. Barometer down to 30.03. Humidity at 85%.
This is statewide news from Alaska Public Media. I'm Michael Finelli. A special investigation has concluded that Governor Mike Dunleavy did not orchestrate the firing of Angela Rodell, the former Alaska Permanent Fund Corporation Executive Director and CEO. The Alaska Beacon reports that Special Investigator Howard Trickey told the Legislative Budget and Audit Committee that, quote, the governor's office had no impact or influence upon the decision. The investigation found that Rodell's firing was at least partially based on a deficient evaluation process, but could be justified by trustees' lack of confidence in her leadership. The report concluded that trustees lost confidence in Rodell for a variety of reasons, including a belief that Rodell had made public comments at odds with the governor's administration. A spokesperson for the corporation said it's reviewing the legislative report and will respond after its review. At the time of her removal, Rodell claimed that it was an act of political retribution by the Dunleavy administration, which had proposed a plan to increase spending from the Alaska Permanent Fund. Rodell did not respond to a request for comment. In other news, more than 30 people marched in protest in Anchorage Thursday night, frustrated that Anchorage police officers still do not have body-worn cameras now a year and a half after voters approved them. Celeste Hodge Groudon, president of the Alaska Black Caucus, led the rally, starting in front of APD's downtown headquarters. Her organization successfully advocated for the $1.8 million purchase of body cameras, which Anchorage voters approved in March of 2021.
And to see that we are no further along is, I don't even want to say the word because, I'm a Christian. so what I will say that it is quite disturbing.
Anchorage Police, the city, and the Police Officers Union have been negotiating the body-worn camera policy for months, with no implementation date in sight. Officials with the police department would not comment on the policy Thursday, beyond saying the process is ongoing. Last month, the Alaska Black Caucus and other groups sent a letter threatening legal action over the lack of a body camera policy. Rich Kurtner is an attorney for the nonprofit.
I don't know what the holdup is. It was privacy for a while. Now it's the union. Now it's arbitration, and it just seems like it's taking too long.
Kurtner says the Alaska Black Caucus is still exploring legal options to get the policy implemented. Several Alaska law enforcement agencies already have body-worn cameras, including Fairbanks Police, University of Alaska Anchorage Police, and the Kotzebue Police Department. This is Alaska Public Media.
The Alaska Morning News is brought to you in part by
the Westmark Fairbanks Hotel and Conference Center, overlooking the Chena River in downtown Fairbanks, with 400 guest rooms and 17,000 square feet of meeting space. Reservations at westmarkhotels.com.
Support for NPR comes from NPR stations. Other contributors include Morgan Stanley with their podcast Thoughts on the Market, offering concise takes on current events and their implications for financial markets. 3 minutes an episode, 5 times a week. Thoughts on the Market.
The morning edition on KBRW is brought to you in part by Aztec, the Arctic Slope Telephone Association Cooperative. Now, time for the KBRW Morning Report.
Good morning. It's 7:08 on this Monday, October 3rd. The story comes from James Brooks of the Alaska Beacon. According to a new social media policy adopted on Friday, if Alaska state legislators remove constituents' comments or block them on social media, they may forfeit state-paid legal protection. A House-Senate panel voted 8-3 in favor of adopting the new policy on behalf of the entire legislature. Representative Matt Clayman, a Democrat from Anchorage, said the new policy means that the legislature is not going to be put in a position of always having to represent representatives who may or may not handle their social media properly. Over the past year, 3 state lawmakers have been sued for blocking comments on their social media accounts. One case against Senate President Peter Micciche of Soldotna was dropped after he lifted the person's ban. Another against Senator Laura Reinbold, a Republican from Eagle River, has already gone to trial and is awaiting a judge's verdict. The legislature's existing social media policy dates from 2011, and the lawsuits drove interest in an update. The revised guidance, officially they're just recommendations, say that lawmakers shouldn't use a personal account to talk about legislative matters. If a legislator does use social media, the policy calls for them to create an official account and instructs them to not open the account to comments or other interactions with the public. Policy states, if you choose to ignore the above guideline, then do not filter, delete, or hide any comments, and do not block or ban any persons. If a legislator does that anyway, you personally assume all risk and responsibility for legal defense of that action. Senator Shelley Hughes, a Republican from Palmer, spoke against the new policy, saying it amounts to inviting the public to a town hall meeting and then barring the door before the people can enter. Senator Mike Schauer, a Republican from Wasilla, also spoke against the new guidelines, saying that they are a significant tool to push information, and shutting down two-way communication is shutting off what really is the way of the future. Senator Click Bishop, a Republican from Fairbanks, voted in favor of the policy and said that it may be amended in the future. Bishop said, "I'm not being flippant here to my colleagues, but it's not the 10 Commandments. It's not written in stone, and it can be reviewed by the 33rd legislator." And this story comes from Tim Ellis of KUAC in Fairbanks. Pentagon officials have taken another step toward building a small nuclear power plant for Eielson Air Force Base near Fairbanks. Last week, they released a request for proposals that invites contractors to outline how they design, build, and deploy a so-called micro-reactor at Eielson within 5 years. Air Force officials announced last year that they had selected Eielson as the site of a pilot project that would prove the viability of small-scale nuclear power plants at military installations. Mark Carell, a former Air Force Deputy Assistant Secretary for Environment, Safety, and Infrastructure, said this is really about energy resilience. Carell said last November that the project at Eielson is meant to help demonstrate a micro-reactor's capability to provide power in case the base's main source of electricity, a 70-year-old 15-megawatt coal-fired heat and power plant goes offline. Carell said, "We're looking to make sure that at any point in time, any of our bases with any mission will have the power it needs, where it needs it, when it needs it, in the quantities that it needs, to assure that we can continue to do the defense mission that we have." The United Coalition for Advanced Nuclear Power is backing the Eielson project. Lucien Niemeyer, a principal with UCAN, which is a Washington, D.C.-based organization that advocates for nuclear-powered electrical generation, said there's both a geopolitical reason as well as an energy resilience reason, which is why Eielson is so exciting. Niemeyer said the Eielson microreactor may demonstrate that the technology holds promise for the interior's other remotely located military installations. In an interview last week, he said Eielson relies on a coal plant with oil backup in a very critical area of the country. Critical because of the area's national security assets, Eielson's 2 squadrons of advanced F-35 fighters, Fort Wainwright's airborne units, and the missile defense installations at Fort Greely and Clear Space Force Station. Niemeyer said nuclear power can serve a significant capability to run these critical bases and assets on reliable power for a period of 5 to 10 years without refueling. The requests for proposals call for construction of a facility to accommodate a micro-nuclear reactor that would generate up to 5 megawatts and operate for 10 years until its fuel is spent. Plan calls for construction to begin in 3 years and for the reactor to begin generating power in 2027. Carell, who talked about the project in a news conference held after it was announced, said the micro-reactor would be self-contained in a structure that's about the size of a Connex shipping container that'll be located in a site of about 5 acres. He said it won't cost the Air Force any money up front. Instead, it will pay for it through power purchases from the company that'll build and operate it at a rate that's competitive with what the base pays now. Niemeyer said the Pentagon and industry likely will learn a lot from how the facility performs. He said, "I think the lessons we learn from that are going to drive maybe a decision to start looking at other locations." Air Force officials say they'll conduct a conference and site visit in Eielson on October 12th for industry representatives considering submitting proposals for the project. And this story from Lisa Fu of the Alaska Beacon. The University of Alaska administration filed an unfair labor practice complaint against the faculty union on Friday. The 2 parties have been negotiating a new faculty contract for more than a year. Speaking on behalf of the administration, Associate Vice President of Public Affairs Robbie Graham said on Friday that United Academics engaged in surface bargaining, or merely going through the motions of bargaining with no meaningful movement in its bargaining positions. For example, Graham said the union canceled meetings, ended bargaining sessions early, cut the cadence of meetings in half, withheld the introduction of critical articles, and delayed the start of the mediation process that we mutually agreed upon as we strived toward a mutually acceptable agreement. Complaint said the union employed delay tactics that led to the administration's inability to get the intended wage increases in front of the legislature in a timely fashion. And it said the union repeatedly proposed subjects to be included in the contract that would be unenforceable. The complaint followed one that United Academics filed against the administration a month ago. The union's complaint alleged the university administration unlawfully declared an impasse, illegally implemented its best and final offer, and engaged in direct bargaining with the faculty through email updates, bypassing the negotiation team. University administration filed a response on Friday to United Academics' August 29th complaint, calling it baseless. The administration's response says the union is the obstructionist party and requests that the union's complaint be summarily dismissed without further investigation. The two parties recently met in federal mediation last Wednesday. After that session, Abel Bolt-Ito said he was disappointed. Bolt-Ito is a professor of neurobiology and neurophysiology at the University of Alaska Fairbanks and president of the faculty union. He said the union had high hopes going into the meeting, but the university administration is back to stalling. Bolt-Ito said the administration hired an outside contractor to be chief lead negotiator. That's problematic and not a good use of state funds. He said when you hire an outside contractor, their financial incentive is to drag out negotiations as much as they can to get maximum financial benefit. Graham said David Eisenberg is one of the administration's lead negotiators. The university contracted with Eisenberg in March 2021. In May, Graham explained that previous union negotiations had been led by UA's chief human resource officer, but with turnover in that position, the university was without a lead negotiator. Graham said with multiple contracts to be negotiated simultaneously in 2021 and 2022, said it was impossible for the UA labor relations team to handle all three contract negotiations. The university pays Eisenberg $100 an hour. The total contract amount is capped at $180,000. Contract, according to Graham, expires at the end of the calendar year. The university administration and the faculty union have another federal mediation session scheduled for October 10th. Graham said Friday that the administration's negotiating team is committed to continuing negotiations to reach a fair contract with United Academics. She said, though time is of the essence as the university is developing its next budget proposal for the Board of Regents approval in early November, the legislature will consider the proposal during legislative sessions that begin in January for a budget that begins next July. 19.5 minutes after 7 o'clock.
As the school year begins, the North Slope Borough School District has fantastic news for all North Slope students. North Slope Borough School District, in partnership with Aztec, is offering to upgrade your household's current internet connection in order to bring education content from the school district to all North Slope Borough School District students. This upgrade won't cost you anything. Over the next couple of months, households with North Slope Borough School District students residing in them will be able to access this limited free offer. Our school district believes in the power of education to develop and empower all communities on the North Slope. The North Slope Borough School District is very excited about this opportunity to bring educational content to your home to help students succeed. This free service is part of a government grant and available for a limited time. This is a voluntary upgrade and you are not required to access it. If you have a student attending the North Slope Borough School District and would like to take advantage of this offer, please call Aztec at 1-800-478-6409 for more information on how to get this free North Slope Borough School District service. You can stop by the Steam Dot Coffee Shop inside Stuakpuk for your favorite fresh-made coffee drink 7 days a week. And now you can join Steam Dot's paperless punch card program. Your coffee purchase will automatically be recorded in your Stuakpuk customer loyalty account. And once you buy 9 drinks, the 10th coffee drink is free. The paperless punch card program. It's on now at the Steam Dot Coffee Shop inside Stuakpuk. Open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to midnight, Sundays from 9 to 9.
Here's the weather forecast for Monday, October 3rd from the National Weather Service. A high-pressure system in the Arctic continues to move east and has moved just north of Mackenzie Bay this morning, with high pressure extending west across the offshore waters to Wrangel Island. The high will move south of Banks Island this afternoon, with high pressure extending west into the central Arctic, with weak low pressure moving into the western Arctic. The high will move southeast as low pressure pushes across the Arctic, with the low moving to 100 nautical miles northwest of Point Ley. Northern Arctic coast will be partly sunny today with a high near 28. Southeast winds around 15 miles an hour. Partly cloudy tonight, a low around 24. Southeast winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Mostly sunny on Tuesday with a high near 32. South winds around 15 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy Tuesday night, 30% chance of snow, low around 28. Southwest winds around 15 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy on Wednesday, 30% chance of rain and snow with a high near 35. Chukchi Seacoast, including Point Hope, mostly sunny today with a high near 40. Southeast winds around 15 miles an hour. Increasing clouds tonight, 60% chance of rain, possibly mixed with snow showers, a low around 36. Southeast winds around 15 miles an hour. Tuesday, 80% chance of showers, areas of fog and a high near 42. Southeast winds 15 to 20 miles an hour, becoming southwest in the afternoon. Mostly cloudy Tuesday night, 60% chance of showers, patchy fog, a low around 35. West winds around 10 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy on Wednesday, 60% chance of showers and a high near 43. Southwestern Arctic coast, including Point Lay, sunny today with a high near 34. South winds around 5 miles an hour. Partly cloudy tonight, low around 27. East winds around 10 miles an hour. 40% chance of rain on Tuesday, increasing clouds and a high near 38. Southeast winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy Tuesday night, 50% chance of rain and snow, low around 32. West winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Wednesday, mostly cloudy, 20% chance of snow showers, and a high near 39. Northwestern Arctic coast, today mostly sunny with a high near 28. East winds 15 to 20 miles an hour. Mostly clear tonight with a low around 24. South winds around 10 miles an hour. Partly sunny on Tuesday, 10% chance of snow and a high near 33. Southeast winds around 10 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy Tuesday night, 40% chance of snow, low around 31. Southwest winds around 10 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy on Wednesday, 30% chance of snow and a high near 36. Central Beaufort Seacoast, partly sunny today, areas of freezing fog, a high near 26. Southeast winds around 10 miles an hour. Mostly clear tonight, low around 18. South winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Sunny on Tuesday, high near 31. South winds around 10 miles an hour. Tuesday night, mostly cloudy, 60% chance of showers, patchy freezing fog, low around 26. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Wednesday, cloudy, 60% chance of rain and snow, patchy freezing fog, and a high near 35. Eastern Beaufort Seacoast, including Koktovik, partly sunny today with areas of freezing fog and a high near 31. East winds around 25 miles an hour. Mostly clear tonight, low around 23. Southeast winds 10 to 15 miles an hour, decreasing to 5 to 10 miles an hour after midnight. Sunny on Tuesday with a high near 34. Southwest winds around 5 miles an hour. Partly cloudy Tuesday night, low around 27. Southeast winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Cloudy on Wednesday, 20% chance of rain and snow showers and a high near 36. Northeast Brooks Range, sunny today, high near 21. South winds around 10 miles an hour. Partly cloudy tonight, low around 15. South winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Mostly sunny Tuesday, a high near 23. South winds around 15 miles an hour. Tuesday night, mostly cloudy, 10% chance of snow, low around 21. South winds around 15 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy on Wednesday, 40% chance of snow showers and a high near 29. Northwest Brooks Range, including Anaktuvik Pass. Sunny today with a high near 24. South winds around 10 miles an hour. Partly cloudy tonight, low around 22. South winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Mostly sunny on Tuesday, a high near 32. South winds around 15 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy Tuesday night, 30% chance of snow, low around 28. South winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Wednesday, mostly cloudy, 40% chance of rain and snow, and a high near 37. Now the marine forecast issued at 3:34 a.m. this morning. Cape Thompson and Cape Beaufort. Today and tonight, southeast winds 15 knots, seas 3 feet building to 4 feet. Tuesday, south winds 15 knots, seas to 4 feet with rain showers. Tuesday night, west winds 15 knots, seas to 3 feet. Wednesday, south winds 25 knots, seas to 5 feet. Cape Beaufort to Point Franklin. Today, southeast winds 20 knots, seas 4 feet, subsiding, freezing spray. Tonight, east winds 10 knots, seas to 2 feet. Tuesday, southeast winds 15 knots, seas to 3 feet. Tuesday night, south winds 15 knots, seas to 4 feet. Wednesday, southwest winds 15 knots, seas to 4 feet. Point Franklin to Cape Halkett. Today and tonight, southeast winds 20 knots, decreasing to 15 knots, seas to 4 feet with freezing spray. Tuesday, south winds 10 knots, seas to 3 feet. Tuesday night, southwest winds 10 knots, east to 2 feet. Wednesday, west winds 20 knots, seas to 4 feet. Cape Halkett to Flaxman Island. Today and tonight, east winds 20 knots, becoming southeast, seas building to 5 feet, freezing fog and freezing spray. Tuesday and Tuesday night, south winds 10 knots, seas 3 feet, subsiding to 2 feet. Wednesday, west winds 20 knots, seas to 4 feet. Flaxman Island to Demarcation Point. Today and tonight, east winds 20 knots, becoming southeast, seas to 6 feet, freezing fog and freezing spray. Tuesday, southwest winds 10 knots, seas to 4 feet. Tuesday night, southeast winds 10 knots, seas to 2 feet. Wednesday, west winds 15 knots, seas to 3 feet. Special weather statements issued by the Weather Service in Fairbanks at 2:54 a.m. this morning for the Chukchi Seacoast, the Baldwin Peninsula, the Selawik Valley, southern Seward Peninsula, eastern Norton Sound, and the Nulato Hills. That includes Point Hope, Kotzebue, Nome, Unalakleet, and Gamble. A strong storm moving to the Bering and Chukchi Sea Wednesday to Friday. Strong storm will develop in the Sea of Okhotsk Monday night and move to Chukotka on Wednesday, then to Wrangel Island by Thursday morning. The storm will bring an elevated risk of coastal flooding from the Bering Strait to the Point Hope region on Wednesday night into Friday, with high surf possible on south and west-facing shores of Norton Sound Wednesday night into Friday. Also, a special weather statement issued for the northern Arctic coast and the western Arctic coast, including Wainwright, Point Ley, and Utqiagvik, issued at 2:58 a.m. this morning. A strong storm will develop in the Sea of Okhotsk Monday night and move across Chukotka Wednesday, then to Wrangel Island by Thursday morning. Strong southerly to southwesterly winds are expected to accompany this storm as it moves into the Arctic, with winds turning westerly as the storm moves northeast into the Arctic. This storm will bring an elevated risk of coastal flooding and high surf from Point Hope to Point Barrow. Once again, the forecast for the northern Arctic coast: partly sunny today with a high near 28, southeast winds around 15 miles an hour. Partly cloudy tonight with a low around 24, southeast winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Mostly sunny on Tuesday, a high near 32, south winds around 15 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy Tuesday night, 30% chance of snow, low around 28, southwest winds around 15 miles an hour. Wednesday, mostly cloudy, 30% chance of rain and snow, and a high near 35.
Whenever you get behind the wheel, day or night, make sure you turn on your headlights. You may be able to see just fine, but it's just as important that others see you. And even on a bright, sunny day, your vehicle will be more visible with your headlights on. See and be seen on the road. Hit the lights. A safety reminder from your friends at KBRW.